Hi there, I'm Mike Larson, Editor-in-Chief with Money Show, and today I'm here at the Las Vegas Money Show with Hilary Kramer, President of Greentech Research. Hilary, thanks for joining me.
Pleasure to be here, Mike.
Okay. Hilary, let's talk just briefly about the overall market overview. Where do you see things shaking out over the next year in 2023 and beyond?
I believe that we've already gone through the majority of a recession, and now we're set up very well for a bull market.
Okay.
Many of just the fundamentals, just the price-earnings ratios are just way too low at this point. There's been a lot of stocks like that are the baby that has been thrown out with the bathwater.
You know, you mentioned that, and the thing that jumps to my mind is financials, right? I mean, it's been this sector that everybody's been worried, banking this and banking that. Where do you see that sector going? And you know, do you, like my previous guest, see a lot of value there?
There is so much value in the financials. There are a number of financials that may not make it, but there is FDI insurance.
Yep.
There will be tremendous consolidation, especially with some of the smaller regionals, with the larger regionals, and then you have these larger regionals with the big mega banks. The large banks themselves, JP Morgan especially, and we saw that when JP Morgan came out with earnings and the stock just was practically a double-digit same day, which is unheard of.
Sure.
But Jamie Dimon, the CEO and president of JP Morgan, was very positive on the year to come and all of the different ways that revenue can be produced at the banks. And the banks know that this is not, they're not going to have another Lehman moment. They won't allow it. They're very careful in the credit that they provide, and they've also taken precautions and reserves for bad credit so that it won't impact their earnings, which is what impacts their stock price.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different world than it was back in 2007, 2008.
Now, I will say though, Mike, is that there are some opportunities, especially two particular large regional banks,
Okay.
Valley National Bank, VNB, which
okay.
is from the tri-state New York area, 5.5% dividend yield, very strong commercial side. Consumer has made sure to keep some of their key loans in-house that are very strong. Valley National Bank's been around a long time. We should see that stock recover nicely. And US Bank Corp. USB, which is obviously a larger bank, but not as well known. It's actually much larger than people realize. There as well, a 5.5% dividend yield, and the stock will bounce back. It's just that there was this sell-off and rotation very quickly into, of all things, energy, for example.
Got it. Okay, so we've got two banking sector names. Now, I know also there was a couple of IPOs that you were interested in, missed IPOs, I guess we'll call them. Would you mind talking about those for a bit?
Oh, of course. The IPOs really had the worst 2022. The IPO market was practically dead. I mean, just nothing went on at all. So that means that the few companies that made it right through that window that was practically closed were the best of breed and the best stocks. So one is called Next Tracker, NXT, which is a technology that allows the large-scale industrial solar farms to be able to track the sun and move the panels so they optimize reaching the solar that they need for the energy. And of course now the battery power has improved so much that whatever is captured can be stored nicely and then put into the traditional grid.
Got it.
Another stock that's very interesting, and probably you've heard the name, Mobileye, MBLY. That was originally a publicly traded Israeli company. Intel stepped in and bought Mobileye. This is assisted driving or self-driving technology. And then when Intel was asked, like so many of these technology companies, to build semiconductor factories here in the United States, and there were great subsidies to do it, Intel said, this is our time to spin off Mobileye, MBLY. Let's let it go out there on its own. Let's raise capital to build those semiconductor factories, and there's just so much opportunity. Now, Mobileye is important because we all know that self-driving vehicles may not come to fruition as fast as we expect for many reasons. Many of which are the fact that trucking and transportation is one of the largest employers, in the country. Other reasons as well, which is that we're not quite there yet with perfection, but assisted driving. This is when you come close to a car that's next to you, when you go to change lanes and there's a beep. That is Mobileye technology. So MBLY has the technology. They have all of the largest car companies all over the world, and MBLY at mid-30s could easily be $100 stock, maybe higher than that. No one's paying attention to it. And when it comes to initial public offerings, there's a mandate that the large institutions can't go out there. They have to wait maybe 4 quarters, sometimes 2, sometimes 6, before even an ETF can start buying a new company that has newly IPO'd. So at the very least, you're buying into Mobileye and Next Tracker, NXT, before the big guys get in, raise the price, algorithms come, hit in, start buying, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, those are a couple of great ideas. The perspective on financials, again, don't panic. There's always value to find in those sectors. That's great. That's great advice. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Hilary.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here.
And thank you all for joining me for this video. We're here from the Money Show, Las Vegas. Take care.